Does whistling at night call in negative energy? Remember that our conscious mind is very much in connection to the way that we understand information and energy. So if you have a belief system that says, by whistling at night, I will call in some kind of dark, scary, attached, demonic, nefarious energy, then your heart-mind connection is always going to now move towards that as a projection. There are lots of cultures who believe a variety of information, from jinn to the night marchers to all these different practices of superstitious belief. And when I read those, I love to take a very open, objective perspective while still bearing reverence to why they felt that way. And the awesome thing about energy is that energy can be sensed by so many other individuals, so then they create some sense of myth or legend or folklore about it to try to make sense of how they feel. Even in my own Polynesian practice, we have those kinds of belief systems. But for me, I bear reverence to what it is and say, well, there was a wonderful seed of a thought, and I can totally understand why we believe it in that way. However, now we go through modern modalities. We expand that way of thinking a little bit to say, here's what we used to believe, and here's where the thread of that came in, and here's why it came in, but here's what's actually going on. So we start to create just a cognitive approach to the things that we used to believe. And if you are also a spiritual practitioner or an Aboriginal or Indigenous practitioner, hello cousin, if you still want to believe that and not take the approach that I have, then that's awesome. That's awesome. I have no problem with that until it starts to create some form of dogma that is keeping other individuals in some form of submission. You should never do this because this will always happen. That's a submissive thought, and that's just not the way that I vibe. It's not my vibe.